Today, folks, what we have for you is a very easy, very simple, and very quick dinner that's great in the summertime. Absolutely fantastic. So we have a beer braised sausage po' boy with some beer caramelized onions and crispy French fries. This is an absolute banger anytime. It's so easy to make. Guys, I can't wait to show you this. Let's just get right into that. So the ingredients that we have today are a bun. This is a sub bun. You could use a hoagie bun. Definitely stick to a bigger bun because we're going to be loading it up with stuff and you're going to want to be able to eat it after. We've got a sausage here. You could use any sausage. I have a honey garlic sausage that I am going to spice up with some Cajun spice. You could use whatever you want. Hot Italian, bratwurst, doesn't matter. All of it's going to go really well with any of these flavors. I have a smoked Havarti here, so it's going to lend a smoky flavor to the rest of these ingredients, which will pair really well. I have an onion here. I'm gonna saute olive oil and some butter just to fry everything in. And I have some beer, Guinness. This is going to be braised or cooked in beer, the sausage, for about half an hour. Then I have some beer battered fries here that we're gonna do in the air fryer. It's obviously just gonna go well with a nice po' boy. That's it. We've got some condiments that we're gonna add at the end. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna wanna do is get our sausage ready because we're going to simmer this in some beer for half an hour. So we're going to start with that. I've cooked this a few times now, and what I have found is that in this case, the skin is not good for it. So what I do want to do is I just want to cut the sausage in half. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to fry it. But if you leave the casing on the sausage, what tends to happen is it's going to curl. The casing is going to pull it and it's going to curl. And that is not going to be good. So we're just going to remove our casings and cut our sausages in half and get them ready for the frying pan like that. Okay, our pan is warmed up. Just gonna drop some olive oil in there, get that coated, and we're just gonna open up these sausages and put them in the pan face down to begin with. Just like that. Now, because we don't have casing on these, you're going to want to be careful. You could very easily just start ripping the sausage meat apart. Once you get that inside seared, though, it should hold together just fine. And that's it. Next, we're going to move on to getting our onion ready for sauteing. Almost forgot the seasoning. Should have probably done this before I put it in the pan, but what can you do? I am going to just get my air fryer heated up. This is pretty easy. I'm going to split this up between the baskets just to make it easier. The package says to air fry at 360, but I found 390 works a lot better. We're going to put our time at 25 minutes and just start it and heat it up. Get everything heated up. It always works out better that way. You heat your pans up before you cook with them, heat your air fryer up before you fry with it. Now we're not dicing these, we're just gonna julienne them. So I'm just gonna cut along the onion, flip it over, cut along the onion. It's very quick, very simple. So onions, we're gonna go in next. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter because I like my butter with my onions. We're just gonna keep this on a bit of a lower heat. We don't want to really hard sear the onions or cook them too fast. We want them to get nice and caramelized evenly all over, bring out the sweetness and not go all the way to bitterness, you know? We'll just get our onions covered in the fat and then we'll just let that sit there and caramelize over the time that it takes to cook our sausage. If you want, you could add a little bit of Cajun spice to the onions too. And definitely want to give them a pinch of salt. And a little bit of pepper, because you know we love pepper on this channel. Okay, so we got our onions going, we got our sausage going here, we got our air fryer heated up, so I'm just gonna open up the baskets. I'm gonna get my fries in there, just try to split it up evenly. Now when you're using an air fryer, I found it helps a little bit if you just throw a little bit of olive oil on those bad boys. And then in a few minutes, once they get moist and the salt can really cling to them, I'm gonna give them a bit of salt and pepper as well. Time to check on our sausage. Let's just check and see if we're good. Oh, a little bit of color. Just gonna flip that over. Looking good. And we'll just give these a little bit of Cajun on that side, and that should be good for that. So let's get our buns ready. I have made, like I said, quite a few po' boys. I really do enjoy them. Not only are they delicious, but they're pretty fast and easy to make with very limited ingredients that can be ultra cheap if you want it to be, or a little more expensive if you want it to be. I found the best way to cut the bun for this is to go from the top instead of a side. And it's very important that you don't cut too far down You do not want this bun to fall apart. Also, if it's warmed up a little bit, it works better as well. The fresher the bun, the better it's gonna work for this. So I'm just gonna butter the inside a little bit so it's not too terribly dry. And also, we can start our condiment. For this, also very simple, just gonna use some mayonnaise and some mustard barbecue sauce. This is Gold, that's the name of it. We're just gonna put a little bit of each in there, mix it up. If you had more time and you really wanted to, you could definitely make this on your own, either by using mayo and then some mustard and honey and a few spices, or if you wanted to go that extra step, you could even make your own mayonnaise and then add some stuff to it to make this. We're going for quick and easy today, so mayo, a little bit of Gold barbecue sauce, that's ready to go. And next thing is we're gonna slice our cheese up. If you have a lactose intolerance or you just don't want cheese on something like this, you really don't need to use it. It's not absolutely necessary, but we like cheese here. Make sure you're checking your onions often so you don't darken too much on one side and not cook the other side at all. If your pan looks like it's getting a little bit dry, feel free to add a little more butter or olive oil if you would prefer to just use olive oil. And we can check on our sausages, which look to be pretty good. Got lots of good color on the backside now, as you can see. So we're gonna turn this down to low. We're gonna get a lid out that can cover your frying pan. We're just gonna pour the beer in there. I suggest using a beer that's got, some good flavor to it. I got a Guinness, it's like a dark ale. If you use something that's too light, it's probably not gonna add any flavor to your dish and you might as well just use water. Loser, just kidding. So you're gonna wanna let your sausage sit in that liquid for probably about half an hour. So I'm just gonna set a timer. And then in the meantime, you got your onions cooking, you got your bun waiting, which you will heat up a little bit. Our fries, we can just check on those. Every once in a while, just open it up, give them a bit of a shake, and now you see we're looking really nice and wet here. We're not quite crispy. We're gonna give them a little pinch of salt, a little blast of pepper, give them a little shake, get them back in there. Probably got about another 12 minutes left on that. So after the fries come out, I'm gonna warm up my buns actually in the air fryer as well, just enough to get them warmed up and the butter melted. I don't actually wanna toast them and make them hard, so that'll make it more difficult to eat the po' boy. So now it's just a waiting game.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we have our onions have got quite a bit of color and they're almost ready. The next step for the onions are, we're gonna take some of our beer out of our sausage here. We're just gonna throw that into the pan and we're just gonna let that reduce until it's become thick, like a thick coating on the onion, or a glaze, if you will. Also, our fries appear to be done, nice and crispy. Just gonna lower this and start it and let it cool the elements above so that we don't have too much heat. You don't need to know that. Cool. It's not even that important. All right, our fries are finito. Just gonna take them out and get them in a bowl here. And you can hear the crunchiness as I put them in the bowl. Use your air fryer for absolutely nothing else. Making French fries and heating up pizza makes it well worth having one. Oh, and nachos. I'm going to just put these buns into the air fryer for a very, very small amount of time just to warm up. Doesn't seem like they fit very well in here, but that's gonna open them up. And once I heat them up, it's gonna tend to wanna stay like that afterwards, which is gonna help with putting all the stuff in there afterwards. So we're just gonna do a match cook, air fry for a very small amount of time. Probably not even that full 5 minutes. Got 16 minutes left on the sausage. I would like to put cheese in here and melt it on the bun like they do at like Subway or something, but with the air, it just like throws the cheese off the bun and melts it on the bottom of the thing, so that's not gonna work. Again, you didn't need to know that either. Okay, we're about halfway through right now. I'm just gonna flip them over. It might not even be that necessary, but I like to be thorough and make sure everything's evenly cooked in whatever way we're cooking it. As you can see, that beer is reducing almost to nothing. It's basically almost a glaze. A few more minutes and that'll be perfect. That'll be finished. So we're just gonna look at our bun. And like I said, it's barely toasted. The butter's nice and melted. We're just gonna get these out of here and they are gonna be hot. So if you don't like that, use some tongs or something. And I'm just gonna lay the cheese in there now too. And that way it'll get a little bit melty from the heat from the bun. And then just a few left over for tasting. Pretty good. Basically, there's no more liquid left in here. We've just got some beer caramelized onions that are ready for when we start plating. While we're waiting for the sausage, we'll do a little bit of cleanup. You don't need to watch this. It's not necessary, but if you clean while you cook, you'll have no mess left over afterwards to take care of when you don't want to clean. I'm just tasting the fries now. Always want to make sure you give everything a taste before you serve it. I feel like they're need a little bit more salt. That's the importance of tasting your food before you serve it to your guests or yourself or your kids. You want your kids to want to eat your food, don't you? Our timer just went off, not that you can see that anymore, but so our sausage is ready. So we're just gonna go with plating. Again, like I said, this is a very quick and easy meal. So we have our bun with our cheese. It's sort of half melty, and we're just gonna dress that with our mayonnaise and mustard barbecue sauce, like so. We're going to bring this over to the sausage because it makes more sense at the moment. And we're just gonna lay our sausage down in our bun. Look at that, fits rather well. Just press that a little bit into there. We're just gonna throw some of our beer glazed caramel onions on top, like so. Put as many as you like or don't like. Also, another thing that you could definitely put in here that would go really well would be mushrooms, if you like sauteed mushrooms. I love Bullseye barbecue sauce, guys. I absolutely love it. Hashtag not sponsored. This is a Guinness Bullseye barbecue sauce, which is perfect because we did a Guinness braised sausage and Guinness glazed onions. So this is just gonna go along really, really well. And we're just gonna put that on top. Go with some fries on the plate. And also, if you want something to dip your fries in, this is absolutely fantastic to dip your fries in as well. It dips super good. And there you have it. We have our beer braised sausage po' boy with crispy beer battered fries. Absolutely delicious. Let's get into the taste test because I can't wait to eat this.
Hi there, folks. Today I'm going to be trying my father's beer braised po' boy with beer glazed caramelized onions and some McCain beer battered fries. Not sponsored. I'm just going to start off with the fries first, just get like a taste, an appetizer. They're fries. They're good. They're not homemade, which is, it's fine. It is a bit of work to make homemade fries, so I would never expect homemade fries, but the bagged ones are, honestly, they're still pretty good on their own. Now I'm gonna try the creme de la creme, the main show. I'm gonna try the po' boy with Vardy cheese that is a little bit melty, yeah. Which is good. I like melty cheese. It's very nice. The first bite is always a little bit difficult. Since my father talks about how big my bites are, I'm gonna take an extra big bite this time. It is really good. The honey garlic sausage is just such an amazing flavor. I really like honey garlic sausage. There is also an Italian heat one. Hot Italian heat one. I mean, it tastes decent. It's just a little too spicy for me, so I really enjoy this sausage more. Cutting off the casing of the sausage definitely makes it easier to take a bite out of because you're not like taking a bite and then you're gonna drag like the sausage with you because the casing is, like hard to bite through usually. The sauteed onions are absolutely amazing, especially they're so good with that beer like glaze on them. And the Guinness barbecue sauce is just fantastic. I love the Bullseye Guinness barbecue sauce. It's one of my favorite barbecue sauces. It has such a nice mouth feel. It has such a nice mouth taste as opposed to other tastes. It's just all incredible. I think you guys will love this. I would give it like, 9.5 out of 10. If it was toasted, if the bun was toasted, maybe it'd be a 10, but 9.5, it's amazing. I love it.